Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my podcast, Dejah Brew. I am your host, Dejah Olson. Today, I got my little swimsuit on. If you're watching the video, if you're on the audio, I know you can't even tell, but it's summertime, and you never know when your motivation to film a podcast is gonna happen. And it just ended up being tonight after I was out on the lake. And that goes into our topic today because I have a topic that it's not the most optimistic topic, but I feel like it needs to be addressed because I think it's something that can happen to everyone unless you just don't really do anything all day. And if that's you, I hope that's really relaxing, and good for you. But that's not the case for me. So let's just get right into it. Well, grab a coffee or a tea or whatever you're feeling today, and we are going to talk about burnout. Yes. So I've been feeling this a lot lately, and I listened to someone else's podcast and they were talking about burnout, or maybe it was in their YouTube video. I don't know. I consume a lot of content. But they were talking about how burnout affects them and they really need to do other things in their daily lives, or step away from work or school or whatever they're working on, and just try to get over the burnout. And if you don't know what burnout is, it's basically when I think you just work so hard and time just keeps going on and you don't really give yourself a break, and all of a sudden you just start to feel really tired and exhausted, and you don't want to be doing this anymore, whatever it is, at your work. I don't know, for me, I am feeling it right now in summer, and I know for a lot of people, especially if you're in high school or college, I feel like summer is a nice time to just relax, enjoy, and that's what it's been for the last 18 years, 19 years of my life for me. But this summer, I was feeling all ambitious and crazy a few months ago, and I was like, instead of graduating in December 2024, I'm graduating in May of 2024. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it work. That was my advisor, and the only way to do that is to take summer classes. And it is currently June 3rd of 2023, and I am taking 3 summer classes, and I work full time, and I try to make a YouTube video and a podcast for you guys every week. Not complaining at all. I love what I do, but I'm really experiencing this burnout, and I'm glad that someone came up with a word for it, because I am sure I have felt this many times in the past, because I've been working for 4 years now at actual jobs, and just now having a word to put to how I'm feeling, I think it makes me feel better, because no, it's not really a good thing, but it's acknowledging how you're feeling. And I have my friend at work, Alexis. He was telling me, he's like, "Dejah, you look burnt out." I'm like, I know. Some days I'm just feeling so exhausted at work, and it really stinks. 'Cause I work in a very physical job. Well, I'm just on my feet all day and having to make myself busy and do things all day. And I can't just sit around and chill unless I'm taking my break. So, some days that morning coffee just isn't really doing it for me because I'm addicted to caffeine. I've been having coffee for I don't know, 7 years now. That's a long time. I know. So the coffee really, isn't hitting. I really need to take a break with that, and just my daily schedule is I'm getting through it all. I'm doing my homework, my coursework, and everything, but I'm still just exhausted, honestly, and I get off at 2 p.m. every weekday. Yeah, right now I'm working every single day because I work at 2 different places, and it's just so much. But getting off at 2 is really nice on the weekdays. And when I get home, I got some motivation. I get a little bit of motivation. Like, I've been riding my bike to work recently, and that's really been helping. It's just giving me like extra time to, I don't know, do something enjoyable. So I want to try to find out how to exercise a little more because I work all the time and I'm like, I'm not trying to go to a gym, especially when it's beautiful and it's summer. So what I did is I was like, I'm gonna start riding a bike to work. And we just had a random mountain bike in the garage, and I was like, yep, I'm just gonna start riding to work. And I've done that for a week now, and it is so nice. And I feel like when I would get in my car at 2 p.m. on the weekdays after work, I would, first of all, I was just tired and I was like, yay, I get to sit. Like, this feels so nice. I could sit in my car as long as I want to. This is my car. I have nowhere else to be after work. But that turns into turning on my phone and scrolling through my phone. And then I don't leave the parking lot for another, like, at least 10 minutes. And when I get home, I don't know, maybe it's a mix of driving, and now it's summer, so sitting in a very warm car for a little bit. I mean, I rolled down the windows, but it takes a little bit to not feel super hot in the car. And I don't know. When I get home, I'm just even more exhausted, honestly. Yeah, when I get home, I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I kind of like drag myself out of my car. That's being dramatic. It's not dragging myself. That's just how my body feels. And then go inside and hope I have motivation to do something for the rest of the day. But with biking, it is so fun. I like truly enjoy it. The only thing is we live on the other side of train tracks in our town. So if there's a train, I'm screwed. I have no way of getting home as of the moment because the only other way has road construction and I can't get on the sidewalk. But we've been having really good luck. Hopefully it's that good karma that I'm trying to, put out in the world and giving me good karma back. But just with riding my bike home, it takes twice as long. So instead of a 10-minute drive, it takes a 20-minute bike ride. But honestly, I love it so much. I get to be out in nature, which is like my favorite thing ever. I just like to be outside. And if you just pedal really fast, you get like that wind and that breeze. So even if it's hot, it doesn't feel like super humid on you and sticky, in my opinion. And I just put on my Beats. I have earbuds, but I have a Dejah piercing. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it yet on YouTube. But I have that Dejah in my ear, and it's just not comfortable to put a headphone in that ear anymore. So I just have I have like huge like Beats Studio wireless. I don't know. I got them like 5 years ago, and I just still have them. So I just throw those on, and no wires, which is so nice. And I just jam out, and I'm like, sometimes I just sing out loud, and I honestly really love it. And I get a lot of people stare at me, and a lot of like younger men like smile at me, and I just think it's really funny. I don't know. They wouldn't have noticed if I was just in a car. I mean, maybe, but definitely notice that I'm on a bike. I just think it's like fun. And then you notice everyone else is doing the same thing. That's like biking like you are. And it's like, oh, what a cute little like community of bikers. I don't know. So all this, like, this is a way that could help with your burnout as well. I know I can't work in the winter. I know, but it's summer right now, and I don't want to think about winter yet. I want to enjoy summer while it's here. And I know that just for me right now, it's happening. My burnout is in summer, but this can literally happen any time of the year. And, don't feel bad if it's happening to you. Don't try to like suppress it. You can definitely acknowledge it. And I just think you should try to, don't know, come up with ways that work for you on how to get out of this little burnout funk. And, something you can do, you could just take off a day of work. I see you grinding it out, getting those hours, and that's awesome. Good for you. But especially if you're full time, I know a lot of full time jobs, like mine, you get paid time off, literally just for working. And it's really nice. But you could use that, or you could just take the day off and tell your job you're not going to work this one day. Maybe schedule it for a day that has really nice weather and just have like a little reset day. If you had like chores piled up, or at least a couple of them that you're feeling like you can't get to it the other days of the week, do a couple that day. You have a whole, well, not 24 minus 8 hours. You have a whole like 16 hours if you're not going to work that day to just do whatever you need to do. And also just relax. Go outside. Get some vitamin D. I swear that helps. You could go to a lake and you could just float on the lake or float on a floaty. Or if you don't have that, that's perfectly okay. You can just sit outside and tan. And then I was gonna say like you could put the hose on you to like cool down. I don't know. I do that sometimes. You just do what you gotta do. But I think that's just a simple way, just take off a day. Or if you have one day off a week or two or however many, maybe try to dedicate that one singular day a week and just be like, I'm not doing anything. Don't worry about work. Don't worry about school. If you're in school, just have that day fully to yourself so you can work through that burnout. And another one, make sure you get 8 hours of sleep at night. I swear you're going to feel so much better. This week, it's currently a Saturday, and last night I went to bed on time at like 10, but the 3 nights before that, I went to bed at midnight, and I wanted to bike to work, as I said before. I need to get up a little earlier for that. So then I woke up at like 5:30, 6 a.m. And I could so feel it. Like as soon as I got into work, I was like, why didn't I sleep longer? And I don't know, it's just, I'm trying to like show you some personal experience to where it's really important to get to that 8 hours. Like it'll really make you feel just so much better. I mean, I was doing fun things those nights where I went to bed super late, but I really wish it was nice if they're at least spread out. Like one day going to bed at midnight, the next one 9 or 10, midnight 9 or 10. But I did them 3 days in a row. Went on a road trip with my friend, and we didn't get back till 11:30 at night. And then the next day, I was reading Without Merit by Colleen Hoover, and for the second time, it was just so good. So I'm like, midnight was my cutoff. I could have read till like 3 a.m. and then gotten 2 hours of sleep, but no, I was like, cut myself off at midnight. And the next night, I had my other friend over, and we just had a blast. And all of a sudden, it's midnight. But just 8 hours of sleep is so important. And of course, I'm not like the perfect role model. I don't do it all the time, as I just said. But it's just something to think about. Like, if you're kind of experiencing burnout, maybe it's not right now. It is summer. I bet it's not going to be as bad right now for a lot of people. But whenever you start to feel it, maybe just think about your week. Like, how has your week gone so far, the last couple of days? Like, have you been getting enough sleep? Have you been eating 3 meals a day? Eating good things, some fruits, some veggies? And I really think all those things will really play into it. And especially just getting some sunlight, getting some vitamin D. And don't feel like you have to do anything when you're outside. You don't have to mow or go on a bike ride or anything. I just love to just sit outside. I usually read. I know not everyone likes to read, but at least me, I just sit outside, and reading is like one of my favorite things in the world to do. And I just when you can like submerge yourself in the story. And I don't know, I feel like I literally like, pop into their world. And then when I like use my peripheral vision or I finally glance up for my book, then I'm like back in my world. But then I go back and I start reading again and I'm like in their world. But it's so fun because then I'm not thinking about other things or yeah, thinking about what I need to do next in the day or things like that. It just it's like a little escape and it really helps. Me at least. Next thing you can do to, you know, help with a burnout, I think, is take a road trip. I know, I'm suggesting you take a lot of time off work, and you might not have that privilege of taking a lot of time off work, but um, I have a really sweet boss, and she lets me, but she feels the same way. We talk about burnout, her and I together, and it just makes you, not motivated to work. Like, when you're burnt out, you're not excited to come back to work the next day. And she gets that. So when I ask her for a few days off, she's like, oh, of course. Like, you don't want to, like, work yourself too hard. And that is so sweet. I don't know. I hope you guys have nice bosses. And if not, I'm sorry. But maybe try to, even if it's just 2 days, well, one day with your day off. I've been doing, when I get off work at 2, every couple days, like on Tuesdays. My best friend and I call them Tuesdays. I hope you didn't cringe about that, but we've been going on a little road trip because, like, why not? Last week we went to Indian Cave State Park, and it was so beautiful. And yeah, we didn't have a ton of time there, like all day, but it's the fact that we made that work into our schedule and we didn't focus on other things we had going on in our lives that day. We just got in the car, started driving, and just had a blast. And it was really awesome. I just feel like it takes your mind off things. And especially if you've never been to the place before, you're going to be going on new roads. And when you get there, you have a whole new adventure or experience that you get to just go on and see new things. And I feel like that really helps. I mean, not if you get back super late, like like I did, but it's okay. Sometimes I like to just say that, I can like sleep when I die, but I believe in reincarnation, so I don't know. Make it make sense. Anyway, yeah, I think road trips are really fun. I know not everyone likes to drive, far distances just to go somewhere, but it's really fun doing it with a friend. I've done it by myself too. I really enjoy going alone as well. But if your friend is up for it, that helps too. Make them drive half the way. So you can just sit back and chill in the passenger seat for a little bit and, have some company. If you talk to them, that will get your head, get you stop thinking about what's on your mind so much, not being all in your head. And yeah, I started going on more road trips recently, and I thought I didn't like road trips, but now that I've been going on them, I'm like, wow, these are really fun. And the max I've gone is like 2.5 hours away. So I don't know what you consider a road trip, but to me, I don't know. I drove somewhere far away. If it's like over hour and a half, I feel like it's a road trip, even though I've been on much longer. But you gotta do what you can. And next, this one's a little more extreme. You gotta have the funds for it, but you can always ball on a budget. And this one is just take a trip, take a vacation. I love vacations, and I think it's just because I love traveling. I want to travel the world. Someone asked me what I want to do when I grow up. I just want to travel the world. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll make it work. And this summer, I'm going to, in 2 months, a month and a half. Okay. Yes, in a month and a half, I'm going to Europe for a month, and I'm so pumped. It's going to be awesome. I actually got a pretty good deal on it. Well, for going for a month with the plane tickets included and everything, it was a decent deal. And I feel like, I don't know, if you save up your money enough, I don't know. Like, I got nervous, of course, to do it because I'm like, oh, I could keep all that, in my savings account, but then it's like, for what? To spend on something else in the future, to invest it. Like, you're gonna make more money. You can save that and invest that, or spend on something else. But vacations are they're so fun. I don't know, just getting out of your city. I think that is just really important. I think that would definitely help with burnout, 100%. And I know you gotta spend some money, but the experience will be well worth it. And this goes back into me having a really nice boss, and she's just letting me take off a month of work. But it's because she knows that I'll be back, and I'm a good worker. So, but shout out to my manager. I love her a lot. Um, but yeah, I'm like so excited. So I'm trying to implement, these little things that I've been mentioning. I'm trying to do them in my daily life too, like going on a bike ride every day because it's fun and I don't feel extremely exhausted when I get home. I only feel exhausted later in the evenings, but that's better than at 2. And it's also exercise, but fun exercise. That's what I've been trying to find, is just ways to make exercise fun, because I don't know, running is just not fun for me. So that's why I went biking. But also, like I said, road trips. I've been trying to do some little road trips, filming wherever I can. I know, like, they're still gonna cost a little bit of money because you gotta pay for gas and maybe food when you get to the place, but definitely a lot cheaper than vacations. And I've been trying to work on getting my 8 hours of sleep. Like last night, I got 8 hours sleep, and tonight I'm gonna try my best too. So I've been trying to implement them in my daily life as of right now, because I think I've been burnt out for like 3 weeks now, and I'm so grateful I have that vacation coming up, because like, oh yeah, I'm fine just working every single day and taking 3 college classes. Yeah, it's fine, but I think I'm only saying that because I get to have a whole month off and just walk around Europe and enjoy then. So that's just my little experience with burnout. And I don't know, I think it was really important how I finally realized what it was, first of all, and little ways that I can try to help it and just prevent it for the future, or at least lessen my feelings of burnout. And I remember the first morning, it was 1 week ago, last Saturday. I think the Thursday I worked at Goodwill. My friend that told me that, when he's like, Dejah, you look burnt out. I'm like, because I am. Then Friday, when I was working at my other job, I was watering plants, and I was like, I didn't have any music in because it's outside, Being outside, I don't always feel like I need to listen to music, except on a bike ride. It just makes it more fun. But I was watering plants, I was like, what can I do to just, I don't know, help, like, this burnt out feeling I'm feeling, and just to try to, like, have some more fun in just everyday life and exercise a little more. And I was like, I'm gonna bike to work. So on Saturday then, I biked to work, and I drank a coffee in the morning, and I was like, I know that I'm addicted, and like this one isn't gonna cut it for me. So I made a protein drink. I love vanilla protein powder. It's so good, and I like when I like slurp up protein powder. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but I'm just different like that. I love it. And I brought one of those to work in my backpack, put it on the side. It spilled when I got to work, but not all of it, just a little bit, so it's okay. And then I also brought a Powerade? Yeah, a red Powerade. It was just in the fridge, and it says it had a lot of electrolytes. And I was like, awesome. And I felt so good that day. It was my first like bike ride out in the morning. I was biking at like 7 a.m. and it just felt so good. And I was like implementing a little bit of change, or at least a thought of change in other people, because 3 people I work with were like, oh, I used to bike to work, or biking to work sounds really fun. I should start trying to do that. And I haven't seen them bike to work yet, but the fact that they considered it is saying something. Because I'm not boasting. I'm not like, everyone, biking is so amazing. You guys should all do it. No, I just show up on my bike, a little bit sweaty. And then people are like, where's your car? And I'm like, I bike to work. And they're like, oh, well, that's really cool. I'm like, yeah. So that's all I have for you guys today. That was my episode of burnout. And I don't know if you guys have any suggestions, anything you do to kind of help yourself from burnout, leave them down in the comments below. That'd be really nice. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I will see you in my podcast next week. I love you guys. Bye.